Christopher Norris here from mining.com.au. Joining me today is Sipa Resources Managing Director, Pip Darvall. Pip, nice to see you.
Hi Chris, how are you going?
Very well. Pip, can you elaborate on the initial findings of the mapping and surface sampling at Wolfe Basin?
Yeah, sure. So, look, we were first alerted to the potential of rare earth elements potentially being present at Wolfe Basin, most obviously by the presence of a large deposit just to the west of our ground. And then when we looked through the historic data, you could see that there was a drill hole just inside our tenement that had ended in quite unusual, well, it was logged as granite, but had elevated rare earth elements in it. So, as you mentioned, we recently been out to the location, picked up some drill chips from the old hole, as well as surface sampled both soil and rock chips across the top of what was a pretty obvious magnetic anomaly there. So, it's a systematic kind of exploration process of get an idea, get some indications there could be something of interest, and then now we're starting to follow it up on the ground.
Now, Pip, the historic drill hole CRA 026 identified cyanite. How crucial is this discovery?
Yeah, sure. So the initial logging of this drill hole, they described it as a granite, and so when we've gone back and looked at that on the ground, have said actually no, it's not a granite. It's a cyanide. Now, what's the significance of this? Probably everyone's heard of granite. So granite's kind of everywhere. People have got it on their bench tops. It's on the outside of probably of your lovely office. So granite's a pretty common rock. Now, if you want to find something special like rare earth elements, you don't want to have be looking where there's kind of your average common or garden granite. You want to find something interesting. And so a cyanide is a different type of rock. It's quite an unusual intrusion. It doesn't have, for example, quartz in it, which is a very common, component of granite. So, in a nutshell, a cyanite's an unusual intrusive rock, and it's unusual, is what you're looking for if you want to find something special. So that's, without getting too technical about the geochemistry of these rocks, that's what's really interesting about it.
And with assay results expected in about 4 weeks, how do these early results influence your strategy for the broader 7.5 kilometre long geophysical anomaly?
Yeah, sure. So as you mentioned, we'll wait for those assay results, and that will, is this one large body, for example, that we can then go and drill test the whole thing? Are there, hot spots within the area that we sampled that we would focus on? So they're the kind of questions that we would answer, by getting those assay results back, and that'll lead us to where we want to focus the follow-up drilling.
And you've mentioned a strong pipeline of exploration activities in the coming months. What can mining.com.au investors expect to see from Sipa?
Yeah, sure. So we've got, we had 6 projects here in Western Australia. We just sold our gold project in the Murchison to Aura Gold. But on the remaining 5 projects, this is peak field season for us. So as I mentioned in our quarterly, we've got drilling coming up at Patterson North, and that's in joint venture with Rio Tinto Exploration. And that's targeting copper gold deposits like their Winu deposit, which is right next door on their ground. So that'll be pretty exciting to commence the drilling there. And then we've also got some drilling coming up at Skeleton Rocks. Now, Skeleton Rocks, we've got both nickel copper targets and some pegmatite targets there. So again, pretty interesting to see what that drilling will turn up.
That was Pip Darvall, Managing Director of Sipa Resources. Pip, thanks very much for your time.
Yeah, my pleasure. Thank you.